Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Max. I'm with Heart Rentals. My brother and I started a fleet back in 2020. We grew a six-figure Turo fleet. We're making about $15,000 a month, which is super exciting. But now I want to talk about something we normally don't talk about. It's something that happened to us a couple of months ago, and it's just really a shame. So back in June, we had a renter. She rented our car. It was a car very similar to this. It was a 2015 Kia Rio, a silver though. There's a reason we're not using that car right now, and you'll find out. So renter rented the car. We always send a check-in message. Thank you for renting. Please let me know if you have any questions. Renter had no questions. We went about our day. Everything was fine. Come to the reservation, check it in, give her the keys. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. It just seems like a regular rental, regular day in life. So we don't hear from the renter until the end of the reservation, the day she's supposed to drop it off. I remember it's a Sunday, and I remember it's early in the morning. I get a call from her. She said, hey, I got stuck at the border and they impounded the car. And immediately my heart sank. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time this has happened to us. We've had cars get impounded near us in the city, but nothing in Mexico and nothing like that. So she called, car impounded in Mexico. I don't know what to do. I said, okay, no problem. Can you tell me where it is? She said she didn't know, which was kind of a red flag. Kind of threw me off a little bit. I said, okay, well, can you send me some information or give me something? And it seemed like she knew nothing, which was super weird. So I said, okay, hold tight. I'm going to call Turo. Called Turo, let them know the situation. They said that the next step is that we need to find the car. So they got us in touch with the representative, and the representative's job initially was to help us find the car. Fast forward 2 months. It took us 2 months to locate the car. We found out is in a little town pretty much on the border between Mexico and the U.S., Arizona. And we found the true story. We got in touch with the officer that had arrested her. So the renter was coming across the border. She had immigrants in the car. She's trying to smuggle people. And she got arrested. She tried to run, detained. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Car got impounded. Just a crazy story. I mean, she didn't even tell us. We would never have guessed. We would never have known. But we finally find the car, and we find where it is, and we get the phone number. So our Turo representative tries to call them, nothing. I mean, they're not picking up the phone. So we said, okay, give us the phone number. It's our car. Maybe we can take care of it. We start calling this place to get in contact with them. It took us 4 months. And you may be thinking, okay, well, maybe they're lazy. Maybe they only called once a week, every 2 weeks or something. We called. Sometimes I'd call 5 or 6 times in a day. One day I called 10 times. We did not give up. We didn't stop. Between my brother and I, we probably called, at least a couple hundred times, at the very least. And finally, after 4 months, we finally got in contact with them. We're finally able to get in touch with them. And they said, oh yeah, we sent some paperwork to your house right when this happened. We never got anything. We never saw any paperwork. And we were checking our mail because the Turo rep thought that something like that would happen as well, that we'd get paperwork. We never got it. So we said, okay, can you email us the form? Get off the phone with them after they said, yeah, we're going to email you the form, not a problem. Check our email, nothing. Call them back. Of course, they don't pick up. So it takes us another 6 days to keep calling them to have an email again. We finally get the form. We send it to the Turo guy because he says he's going to take care of it. He's like, okay, now that we got this is it. I mean, we're about done. Let me go through this paperwork. Let me send it in, and then it should be 5 days till we get your car back, which would have been nice. And then we call him at the end of the week. Hey, what's going on? He didn't pick up. I was like, okay, well, he's probably busy. Let's just try Monday. Doesn't pick up. Try him later that week. Try him the next week. It took him 2 months. 2 months of trying to call him. He didn't pick up the whole time. We had to call the Turo line and talk to Turo representatives. And they said, yeah, we're going to escalate this. Finally, after 2 months of trying to reach somebody, one night I said, hey, can we just speak to somebody? We want to speak to somebody about how we can escalate this and actually get a solution. So we finally get in contact with this guy who's the head of some department, and he was just mind blown that this whole process had taken this long. He said that it's never happened before. And he got our phone number, he started texting us, he got all the documents, and once he got a hold of it, it happened in maybe a week. But the whole process just took a crazy amount of time. It went from just being a quick, maybe go pick up the car or fill out some paperwork and get the car back, to a many month process. And finally, at the very end, they had to do a total loss because they couldn't even get the car back. In the end, we kind of won a little bit because we ended up getting paid out $12,000, which was kind of nice because we only paid $8,600 for it, and we're getting paid for each day that it wasn't rented. So we kind of came out on top. But the process that it took to get this settlement and get this paid off is just a mess. So, I mean, that's the story. I hope this happens to nobody else. This is just kind of a freak accident. I mean, the biggest lesson that we learned is we have to have trackers on every one of our cars. That car didn't have a tracker, or else we probably would have had it the next day. So I think that's the biggest lesson. Make sure you have trackers on your cars and make sure you know what's going on. Don't just let your car go and hope for the best, because it just shows you that you can totally lose. You can totally lose your car. I mean, it's quite bad. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you listening to my story. If you don't mind liking, subscribing, and following along with the channel, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.